Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. I've just realized that I haven't posted in a while, so that's why I'm doing this video. If I sound sick, it's because I am sick. We're still waiting on my COVID test results, so please pray for me in the comments that I don't have COVID. But anyways, so if I have one question, you guys can answer this question in the comment section below. Who's your favorite YouTuber? I can't decide who mine is. But out of Preston and Brianna, who's your favorite YouTuber? I've got to think about it, but as of right now, I think it might be going towards Bree. But I have some stories for you, because I haven't done a story time video for you guys in a while. And I'm playing the obby that I played last time we were doing a story time video. But I tried to restart this and I don't know how, so I just restarted. So I just came to the bottom and I'm not going to click to checkpoint until I get another checkpoint. Okay, so so I have a few stories. Don't know which one to choose because I haven't done a story time video in a while, like I said. Oh, didn't think that would be how it played out, but I got up here because I clicked to checkpoint. What stories should I share with you guys? Oh, I have one. So, this is going up the day that I record it. The day that I'm recording it. And so, basically, on Monday of this week, you'll see what week it is when I post it. Look below the video for what day I posted this, and then you'll have what Monday was. But first of all, Happy New Year. Second of all, on Monday, me and my friend, I'm not going to say her name, but I'm going to have to say her name at some point, so I'm going to come up with a random name, and Susie. So me and Susie were hanging out with the boys, I'll come up with random names for them since I haven't gotten permission to say their names on the internet. But Emmanuel, Joe, and Emmanuel, Joe, Mikey, and Zach. But so me and Susie were chasing them around, and then our friend Kayla comes over. That's a made-up name, just saying. That's not her real name because I can't say her real name. I don't have permission. But Kayla comes over and she asks us what we're doing, and we tell her the truth, that we're chasing the boys, and we're basically and this is what we call the game. We call the game Get to Each Other's Bases. So basically, there's two bases, the boys' base and the girls' base. The girls have to get to the boys' base and back to their base without getting tagged. Whoever's on offense, which most of the time is the girls, has to get to the other team's base and back to their base without getting tagged by defense, which is usually the boys. And then, so after we tell, I forgot what I named her. Oh yeah, Kayla. After we tell Kayla that, she wants to play, so we have to ask the boys first So we call a timeout on the game. The boys say she could play. And then they say that it's unfair that they have 4 players and we only have 3. We say that we're fine with it, and they obviously get frustrated at that because they think that I say that we're fine with it, and they think that and they get frustrated because basically what they're thinking now is I think that my team is better than theirs. Because me and Emmanuel are the team captains. So everything that my team says, I have to tell to Emmanuel. And Emmanuel told his team that my team only needed 3. That I thought that my team only needed 3 players, and then his team thought that my team, that I was just thinking basically that my team is better than theirs. So I end up going out because we choose who goes out for that round to make it to the other. And by the way, when you're at a base, you can't get tagged. So basically, I run to the boys' base without them catching me because there was a bunch of goose poop on the blacktop, and I have found a way over over like a year or 2 of going there and seeing goose poop. I just dodge it even while running. So I ran through the goose poop, and they didn't want to chase me because they don't know, because none of them can dodge the goose poop. So basically, I have this huge advantage with running through the goose poop. So I go through the goose poop, and they're just basically like, "Oh, that's cheating. You can't go through the goose poop." And so I'm just like, "Well, our team only has 3 players. You guys have 4." So basically, and we never established that as a rule, and I'm the creator of the game. I can do what I want. So they get frustrated at that, and Zach quits. And then it's a 3v3, and me and Emmanuel decide, okay, since it's a 3v3, let's just play it fairly. I can still run through goose poop because it's not really cheating. It's just, I mean, if you guys don't want to go through goose poop, you don't have to. If you want to go through goose poop, you can chase me through the goose poop and probably get some on your shoes while I dodge all of it. And Emmanuel's like, okay, yeah, that's fair. It's our choice, not whether we go through or not. So that ends up as a rule. I can still go through the goose poop. The rest of my team, only the leaders can go through the goose poop. So that ends up as a rule. But then later on in the game, the boys get frustrated again because one of the girls from my team, who knows the rule, because I've played with her before, it was Susie, she goes out and she runs through the goose poop. And I start yelling at her like, "What are you doing? Stop. You can't go through there. Only the leaders can go through there. You're not allowed to do that. Stop." And she won't stop. She won't listen. And Emmanuel runs through the goose poop and pushes her to the ground. And she is sitting there crying. And one of the teachers comes over, and so you know how I said Emmanuel pushed her to the ground? That's what I thought at first, but then one of the girls from a different class, I don't know her name because she's from a different class, but she had recorded it on her camera because she brought a camera to school, and she had recorded it because she thought that it was going to be a push. But she was looking at it from a different angle than I was. So I asked her if I could see her camera, and I look at the video, and Emmanuel tapped Susie. Just Susie fell and made it a lot more dramatic. And she's sitting there crying for the rest of recess because her new clothes got dirty because she threw herself onto the ground. And she's just complaining and complaining and complaining. And other kids are and so I find a different person. I'll just call her Sophia. But Sophia agrees to play with us, and she is a new player. She hasn't played this game before. I explained all the rules to her. I explained to her that only me and Emmanuel can run through the goose poop, and she understands it. Now, when my team got frustrated is when Joseph ran through the goose poop. And I'm sitting here like, yo, you can't do that. Because Joseph, right before he went to go run through the goose poop, stepped on my toe. So I'm standing there. Well, my team is on defense because sometimes if we have time, after one round, we would swap. After every person on the team has had a turn running to one base and running back of the people who are on offense, we'll do that. We'll swap. We'll swap team. We'll swap positions. So the girls will end up on defense and the boys will be on offense. So this happened while the boys were on offense. I was supposed to go after. So I was out and I was chasing Joseph. And Joseph just runs through the goose poop out of nowhere. Also, I'm changing the game and I'm playing. But Joseph runs through the goose poop out of nowhere after stomping on my foot. And so, after Joseph runs through the goose poop, I get really upset. And I go to Emmanuel and I'm like, did you see that? Joseph just ran through the goose poop. And he was like, yeah, I saw that. I'm gonna talk to him. And so Emmanuel talks to him, and apparently it did nothing because they sent Joseph out again because that round got interrupted. And Joseph does it again. He runs through the goose poop again. And me and Emmanuel are just standing there like, I don't know if he understands that. He's not allowed to do that. Also, I'm really bad at this game. I am so sorry if you're good at this game and you're watching this. But we're like, you're not allowed to do that. Stop. And so he finally stops after 5 rounds of him going out. And after Mikey and Emmanuel get to go out one last time, each for their first times going out that day. It wasn't their first times going out in all, but that day it was their 6th time going out in all. We've swapped on 6 different days. But so basically so they went out for their first time that day, and Mikey doesn't run through. Emmanuel runs through, but Emmanuel's allowed to since he's the team leader. So I'm fine with it. I run through the goose poop, and then at the very end of recess, the whistle blows. We have to go inside. Joseph has the audacity to come up to me and yell at me for getting goose poop on his shoes when I did nothing to him. He said that I told him to run through the goose poop and this and that and that I should stop and all this stuff about that. But I never told him to run through the goose poop. I actually told him not to run through the goose poop, if you guys remember from the story. And he did it anyways. So I reminded him that it was his choice to run through the goose poop. I had nothing to do with him running through the goose poop. And he tells Emmanuel that I told him to run through the goose poop and that it was his fault, and that it was my fault that he had goose poop on his shoes. And Emmanuel backs me up because me and Emmanuel are basically on the same team because we're the leaders of our teams. So we talk everything out beforehand. And so we knew those rules. I knew that no one else could go through, so why would I tell him to go through? And so next thing we know, Joseph is telling a teacher that I told him to run through the goose poop and I got goose poop on his shoes. And the teacher comes up to me and she asks me why I did that. And I told her that I didn't tell him to do that and that I had 5 witnesses about me that know that I did not tell him to do that. So he gets mad. He throws his water bottle on the ground and it breaks. Then he starts yelling at me about breaking his water bottle. And I'm just sitting here like, I was just talking to the teacher, dude. Why are you saying that? Why are you making up these lies? And so Emmanuel just walks over to him and he's like, dude, calm down. And after 5 minutes, Joseph finally calms down. And then we have to go inside to ELA. And Joseph decides not to write. So I look at him, because he sits right next to me. And I'm like, you have to write, otherwise you're going to get in trouble. And he finally starts to write about the incident and he writes about the incident at recess. Our ELA teacher asks us to share what we wrote, and he shares that I put goose poop on his shoes with my hands. So the teacher walks over to me, tells me to show her my hands. I show her my clean hands. And the manual says that my hands are clean because I went to the bathroom before this. But here's the thing. I never go to the bathroom before a class. I go to the bathroom after a class. But never before. Because I don't think to go before a class. So literally every single person in our class can back me up on the fact that I didn't go to the bathroom before class because I never go to the bathroom before a class. And he's like, well, then she must have washed her hands at the back of the sink because I know for a fact that she used her hands. And the girl from who had the camera, if you remember that from the story, the girl who had the camera, turns out it wasn't her camera and it was a girl from my class's camera. She comes in and she returns the camera to the girl from my class, whose name is Ella, which is actually very close to her name. Why did I do that? But but her name is Ella, the girl whose camera it was, and she goes through the camera roll and she finds the picture, a video of him running through goose poop and getting goose, and then complaining about him getting goose poop on his shoes. And then Susie is still complaining about her clothes. So Ella brings up that video too. And everyone gets mad at Joseph and Susie for lying. Because they know the truth and now they know never to trust them again. Well, anyways, I'm out of time. Bye, guys. See you next time. One last thing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications.